Hello everyone, glad to be back. Today is still 21st of December. Now it's 15 to 11 in the evening Moscow time. I'm Levan Gudadze and this is my second update for the day. Late second update in which I will share with you latest report of Russian Defense Ministry on progress of special military operation during the previous 24 hours. And also I will share with you two additional news, breaking news, I will say, for this moment. I hope you will find this update informative, and if so, please click that like button, leave some commentary, and share video with your friends. It will definitely help to reach wider audience. And same time, if you can, please consider to join our community in Rumble. If you are watching this update on YouTube, you can see a link under this video in description box or in the pinned comment. It will be a great New Year's gift to me personally if we will manage to reach, if our community will manage to reach 2000 before New Year. It's more than 1800 of us at this point on Rumble, and also later on today, in about hours time, I will upload on Rumble next episode of Telegram Reports program that I do for Rumble exclusively. That's been said. Let's talk about a news update now. And well, according to latest report, armed men opened fire in university building in downtown Prague, in Czech Republic, killing at least 15 people and sowing widespread panic with one of the Czech Republic's worst mass shootings of its kind. Police and city rescue services reported the bloodshed took place in the philosophy department building of the Charles University, where the shooter was a student. Prague police chief Martin Vondrasek said, and he also noticed that shooter have not been named publicly yet, although his identity is known for police, as I understand. Also, according to Czech law enforcement, there is no details about the victims or possible motive for the shooting at the building located near the Vitava River in Jan's Palace Square. And Czech Interior Minister with Rakusan said investigators do not suspect a link to any extremist ideology or groups, which is a strange statement to made on early stage of investigation, at least, because usually this kind of attacks, terrorist attacks, are conducted by people who has some extremist ideology, but that's what authorities in Czech Republic are. That's the information that Czech authorities are sharing with public at this point. On my Telegram, I did share some video and photo footage of this shooting. As you can see, people in panic are leaving area. And also this terrifying photo of people hanging on a facade of the building. And this is the shooter himself, according to many channels. And as you can see here, he holds some sort of assault rifle with optics, or maybe sniper rifle. Maybe even a sniper rifle. It's hard to tell exactly, but unfortunately he did manage to kill at least 15 people during this terrorist attack. This is of course breaking news for this moment. All media outlets are paying attention to this development, and let me also share with you another breaking news for this evening, which is that Russian air defense systems intercepted Ukrainian ATACMS missile delivered to Kiev regime by US, by Pentagon, and this missile was shot down over the Azov Sea. This was reported by Governor of Kherson region Vladimir Saldo. According to him, ATACMS missile was flying towards the Crimean Bridge while it was destroyed. Also today, Russian military channels did report that Russian air defense systems managed to shut down 2 Ukrainian long-range missiles in Berdyansk area, which is a port city on Azov Sea, on this land bridge between Crimea and mainland Russia. And because several missiles already have been shut down by Russian forces, long-range missiles, I would not be surprised if Kiev regime has plans to conduct another wave of missile strike during the night time. I believe Russian air forces probably are prepared for such developments, because usually Kiev regime conducts these long-range strikes with the waves, first, second, third. So, of course, if any additional news, if any additional attempts from Kiev regime to strike deep inside Russian territory, I will report about it on my Telegram in the next updates on YouTube and Rumble. And now let's talk about report of Russian Defense Ministry on progress of special military operation during the previous 24 hours. I did share this information already on my Telegram channel, but in case you are not subscribed, I will share with you this information in this program. So, according to Russian Defense Ministry, units of West Group of Forces of Russian Army, jointly with helicopter aviation, artillery and heavy flamethrower systems, repelled 9 attacks, 9 local-scale counteroffensives launched by assault groups of 95th Air Assault, 14th and 43rd Mechanized Brigades of Armed Forces of Ukraine near Sinkovka settlement, which is Kharkov region, and near Yampolovka settlement, which is Donetsk People's Republic. This is Kupiansk direction. This area in Kharkov region, Russian forces, of course, are holding initiative in this area, although Kiev regime on regular basis, on daily basis, sends more and more units to conduct these suicidal local-scale offensive operations or counteroffensive operations to somehow regain initiative, at least on any of the directions in Kupiansk sector. Russian forces are ready for such developments, and usually all these local-scale counteroffensives are repelled with heavy losses on part of Ukrainian side. When it comes to settlements where main hostilities are taking place, this is a main hotspot in Kupiansk direction, Sinkovka settlement, right next to Kupiansk city itself, Sinkovka settlement, and this forestory right on the northern western part of it. And Russian channels are reporting that at this point it's only a matter of days when Russian side will establish full control over the Sinkovka. Although I have a little bit different reading of situation. In my opinion, Russian forces are locked and ready to conduct large-scale offensive operations in Kupiansk direction. They are just waiting for green light from Russian general staff, and because of it, at this point, it does not make strategic difference on the line of contact if Sinkovka is under Russian control or not Russian control. This is just a small settlement, irrelevant, really, settlement on the line of contact. Even if Russian forces establish control over this settlement right now, today, as we speak, it will change in strategical terms nothing, because still Russian forces will wait for a green light from Russian Defense Ministry to begin large-scale offensive operations, because Kupiansk, major city in this area to be liberated, of course, Russian side has to begin large-scale offensive operations to secure its flanks in the northern side, which means that operations have to take on territory of almost entire Kharkov region, and on the southern flank, which means that Russian forces have to conduct large-scale offensive operations in Seversk Liman, or let's say in general Krasny Liman sector of the front line also, because that's the only way that flanks of Russian forces in Kupiansk direction will be secured when these offensive operations began on Kupiansk. So that's why I don't think it has a huge relevance at this point who will control Sinkovka settlement, although maybe Russian military channels are correct, and in upcoming days, some decisive actions have been taken by Russian forces to end all this story around Sinkovka, because this settlement is in news too long, really. I mean, almost on daily basis. Overall, according to Russian Defense Ministry, as a result of this local scale skirmishes, clashes, artillery duels between the sides, in Kupiansk direction, Ukrainian forces lost up to 55 military personnel, 2 motor vehicles, as well as 2 D-30 howitzers. If we compare Kupiansk sector to some other sectors, especially Krasny Liman and Donetsk sector, or even South Donetsk sectors of the front, of course, we can say that in Kupiansk direction situation is a little bit more calm, which is correct, and same can be said about Zaporozhye sector of the front line. Usually in Russian Defense Ministry's reports, exactly Kupiansk and Zaporozhye sectors of the front line are showing least number of casualties on part of Ukrainian forces. Next is Kupiansk. Next is Krasny Liman direction, where units of 10th group of forces of Russian army repelled one local-scale counteroffensive launched by 12th Special Forces Brigade of Ukrainian Armed Forces near Chernovo-Dibrova area, Lugansk People's Republic. And this 12th Special Forces Brigade, this is infamous terrorist organization as unit Azov, more known worldwide as Azov formation. This neo-Nazi unit, this neo-Nazi formation was incorporated in Ukrainian armed forces, like many other extremist and terrorist armed formations in Ukraine. And Azov units, lately especially, Azov units more known are not for fight against Russian forces, but for killing Ukrainian soldiers. Because I remind you, dear friends, that Kyiv regime used these neo-Nazi units, especially Azov formation, to spread fear among mobilized Ukrainian personnel on the line of contact. And whenever some units of Ukrainian armed forces even considering to lay down arms and surrender or retreat or trying to surrender, usually neo-Nazi units, including Azov, and lately also foreign mercenaries, are called in, and they're executing those Ukrainian soldiers. So I would not be surprised if we will learn after this conflict will end in Ukraine that Azov neo-Nazi and terrorist formation, together with other neo-Nazi units and mercenaries, foreign mercenaries, did kill thousands and thousands of Ukrainian soldiers during this conflict. Data, I'm quite sure, data is there, and it waits its time to be revealed to the public. Overall situation, of course, under Russian control in both sectors, Kupiansk sector and Krasny Liman sector of the front line, and it's only Russian forces that are capable to conduct large-scale offensive operations. Ukrainian forces have no chance, not slight chance, to achieve anything really on any of the sectors of the front line, not just northern ones. According to Russian Defense Ministry, as a result of local-scale clashes, artillery duels, drone wars on Krasny Liman direction, Ukrainian forces lost up to 190 military personnel, 3 armored fighting vehicles, and 1 D-20 howitzer. Next is Donetsk sector of the front line, usually most active sector on the front line, and of course there is two main directions, two main areas of hostilities in Donetsk sector. First Avdiivka and second Bakhmut, or flanks of the Bakhmut to be more precise, where Russian forces are conducting local-scale offensive operations to prepare ground for inevitable large-scale operations in direction of Chisov Yar and Konstantinovka. And well, according to Russian Defense Ministry, units of South Group of forces of Russian army, with support of frontline aviation and artillery, repelled 17 local-scale counteroffensives of Ukrainian armed forces and inflicted fire damage on manpower of Ukrainian units and hardware close to Bogdanovka settlement, Belaya Gora, Artyomovo settlement, and Grigorievka. This is areas of Donetsk People's Republic. As a result of local-scale skirmishes in Donetsk sector of the front line, Ukrainian armed forces lost up to 210 military personnel and 3 pickup trucks in counter-battery warfare. One UK-made AS-90 self-prepared artillery system was destroyed. So, as we all know, United Kingdom delivered a bunch of dozens of basically artillery systems. Probably more artillery systems have been sent to Kiev regime by London that UK's armed forces have in the inventory right now. And one of them was destroyed during the previous 24 hours. 3 Akatsiya self-prepared artillery systems also were destroyed. 2 Gvozdika self-prepared artillery systems and 1 D-20 howitzer, as well as 1 US-made TPQ-37 counter-battery warfare radar. So quite a number of destroyed artillery systems of Ukrainian armed forces in Donetsk sector of the front line, which is quite understandable. Of course, Russian side is trying to neutralize long-range capabilities of Ukrainian army in this area, while simultaneously local-scale offensive operations have been conducted all along the line of contact on Donetsk sector, especially of course in areas of Bakhmut and Avdiivka. So as I said, Donetsk direction is most active, according to report of Russian Defense Ministry. If we compare it with other sectors, that's usually the case, and casualty numbers on part of Ukrainian armed forces are also most high on Donetsk sector of the front line. Next is South Donetsk sector, where units of East Group of forces of Russian army with active support of frontline aviation, helicopter gunships, artillery inflicted losses on manpower and hardware of 72nd Mechanized, 79th Air Assault Brigades of Armed Forces of Ukraine near Katerinovka and Novomykhailovka. This is Donetsk People's Republic territory. So, well, not surprisingly, this area was main hotspot during the previous 24 hours. To be more precise, settlement of Novomykhailovka, which is at this point we can say that are disputed between the sides, although probably because of this high intensity of Russian local-scale offensive operations in this area, probably this settlement will become under full Russian control in upcoming days. Already some military channels are reporting that Ukrainian forces in this settlement have been cut in half, and Russian units are now neutralizing Ukrainian forces that end up being encircled or partially encircled in the eastern part of this village. Without photo and video confirmation, of course, it's difficult to know for sure what's going on in this settlement, but because of so many reports, because of so many quite similar reports are coming in, I guess situation for Ukrainian forces in any case is desperate in area of Novomikhailivka, and this settlement in fairly short time will become under full Russian control. Of course, also hot points on Sovdanetsk sector, traditionally, if you may say this way, are areas of Vremevsky salient, where Russian forces on daily basis improving their current positions, and at this point it's only, I don't know, matter of time when Ukrainian units will be forced to leave at least Staromayorskaya and Urozhaynaya settlements in this area. Next, well, according to Defense Ministry, as a result of local scale skirmishes on Sovdanetsk sector of the front line, Ukrainian formations lost 65 military personnel, 1 tank, 2 motor vehicles, 1 Gyatsint S self-propelled gun, as well as 1 D-20 howitzer. Somewhat decrease in activity on Sovdanetsk sector if we compare it current report with reports about previous days, but still Sovdanetsk sector is more active than Zaporozhye sector of the front line, on which units of Russian group of forces repelled 1 local scale counteroffensive launched by an assault groups of 65th Mechanized Brigade of Ukrainian Armed Forces near Rabotina settlement, which is in Orekhov bridgehead area. This is the Rabotina settlement, and according to Russian Defense Ministry, surprisingly, somewhat, as a result of local scale skirmishes, as a result of clashes in Zaporozhye sector of the front line, Ukrainian army lost 75 military personnel killed and wounded. Also, airstrikes and artillery fire hit personnel and hardware of Ukrainian armed forces near Novodanilovka and Malaya Takmachka areas. This is Malaya Takmachka and this is Novodanilovka. So as you can see, Russian forces are beginning to activate strikes in rear positions of Ukrainian units that are located in Rabotina area and in the fields in between Rabotina and Verbova, and maybe this is indicator that Russian side is beginning preparations to encircle Ukrainian grouping of forces in Orekhov bridgehead. There's so many talks about possibility that this area will be encircled, but at least for now, what we are seeing is that the Russian side methodically increases pressure and pushing Ukrainian forces to retreat. We did not see yet attempts to encircle Ukrainian grouping of forces in Orekhov bridgehead, but maybe that's what is coming. Well, surprisingly, Ukrainian armed forces lost more military personnel on Zaporozhye sector of the front line than in Sovdanetsk sector, which is a rare occasion, at least for last months also, even more. Usually Sovdanetsk sector, Ukrainian forces are losing more military personnel, but not in previous 24 hours, when on Sovdanetsk sector, Kiev regime lost up to 65 military personnel, and on Zaporozhye sector up to 75. And when it comes to Kherson sector of the front line, last area that we will discuss in this update, according to Russian Defense Ministry, as a result of Russian group of forces actions, artillery fire, airstrikes, losses among Ukrainian armed forces reach 70 military personnel in Kherson region. Also, 3 motor vehicles of Ukrainian armed forces have been destroyed. 1 Stab B howitzer and 1 Hyacinth B gun. Operational, tactical, and army aviation, unmanned aerial vehicles and missile troops of Russian armed forces, also artillery, have engaged Ukrainian manpower and hardware in 129 areas during the previous 24 hours, all along the front lines. So 129 areas have been targeted, or some clashes did take place in these areas. Air defense units of Russian army shut down 29 Ukrainian drones. And well, this is it when it comes to short summary of the situation on Ukrainian battlefield during the previous 24 hours. If we summarize, just in the previous day, Ukrainian armed forces lost over 650 military personnel, and this is happening while operational pause is holding on the front line. This high number of casualties, which is a daily occurrence for last couple of weeks at least, is happening while overall operational pause is holding on line of contact, and there is no large scale decisive actions taking place. Just imagine how high number of losses on part of Kiev regime will be in events if in terms when Russian side will begin large scale offensive operations. Probably all of you remember initial stages of the so-called Ukrainian counteroffensive, when on daily basis Ukrainian army were losing from 1,000 to 2,000 military personnel. Now, when it's operational pause, daily casualties on Ukrainian side, according to Russian Defense Ministry, is about 650 military personnel. Although today I did read some articles on several media outlets that, according to Western military experts, Ukraine is losing about 800 military personnel a day during this period of operational pause. So one may say Russian Defense Ministry's report on daily report on activities during the previous day may be somewhat conservative even. Anyway, this is it for now. I hope you will find this update interesting, informative, and if so, please click that like button, leave some commentary about any topic you like, and share with your friends. And if you think this channel, this project with several channels on YouTube, Rumble, and Telegram is informative, interesting, useful, and deserves to exist, please consider to support my work with small donations through PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or by subscribing to my Patreon page. You can see links under this video in the description box or in the pinned comment. This is it for now. In about hour's time, I will upload another episode of Telegram reports for Rumble. That's an exclusive program for Rumble, and working days over, I guess. Bye for now, and take care.